Let's talk about some Montreal Canadiens trade rumors, and specifically the ones that we didn't really know were out there. Let's talk about the rumors that people just didn't know existed, and ones that were brought to the light by TSN, in part due to Marc Bergevin himself. So let's go over onto TSN. There was a really good radio bit by Tony Marinaro. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to re-record that a few times. I didn't get the name right. He had a segment just from yesterday morning talking in a one-on-one setting with Marc Bergevin. And we have ourselves a lot of juicy quotes, a lot of nice things to listen to. I'll leave a link in the description to that radio bit. But Habs Chronicle is a Twitter page, and they posted one of the specific quotes from this radio bit. Now I'm going to read the tweet because I don't want to use the radio bit in this video. I don't want to copy copyrighted material and put it into this video. So this is what Habs Chronicle tweeted out. This was from that radio hit. Teams have called Marc Bergevin on Cayden Primeau. Yeah. Primeau is the guy that teams are wanting to go after here. Now, I will admit, this is not Drouin. We're not talking about Drouin. We're talking about Primeau. I don't think anybody really realized that Primeau was a guy that was desired here among the rest of the league. Marc Bergevin says that unless they're offering a true number one center, forget about it. You're not getting Primeau. And if you listen to the actual radio bit, Bergevin kind of chuckles, he jokes around, he says that in a little bit of a comedic tone. So I think he's definitely joking about that. He's not saying, yeah, well, we're trading Primeau, and if you want to get Primeau, give us a number one center. That's hyperbole, by the way, because if you wanted to trade a number one center for a goalie prospect, you're probably not suited to be an NHL GM in the first place. If you want to take a look at it, who are the true number one centers in the league? You have McDavid, you have Matthews, you have Pedersen, Crosby, Malkin, I guess. You could have Barzal in there. You could have some really good players, and trading any of these guys for a goalie prospect who's just starting out his pro career is quite crazy. So that's why Bergevin laid the price out for that. He's essentially saying the price for Primeau is so gosh darn high that nobody's gonna really make an offer that's realistic enough to even consider doing. So pretty much, he's shutting down the Primeau trade rumors. And just for a little bit of depth, here is Habs Chronicle and what they said. In their opinion, you don't trade Primeau, period. He is Carey Price's successor. And that is a crazy idea. First off, because it's a super high level of play that you need to get up to if you want to become the next Carey Price. But literally, I talked about that a year ago? 2 years ago? I'm Googling it right now. Cayden Primeau on YouTube. I made a video about Primeau. Here it is, 11 months ago. The Montreal Canadiens replacement for Carey Price, the Habs goalie of the future, talking about Cayden Primeau. That was from just under a year ago, and I'm so proud that everything that I said in that video is still holding up today. Primeau could have looked like a complete bust by this point, but nope, he's still a legit Habs goalie prospect, probably the next number one once Carey Price is done, going from one CP to another CP. We saw Cayden Primeau in the preseason. He was great, and now he's going over to Laval, his first pro season. Depending on how well he does in Laval, we might be seeing Primeau in the NHL as early as 2020-2021. So I'm not really too sure what's gonna go on then, but we've got ourselves a great goaltender prospect who teams are calling about. Plain and simple, teams are calling about Primeau. But it's fine, because Bergevin shut down those rumors. And in fact, you know, we're on the topic of it. Yeah, why not talk about it? We're on the topic of Marc Bergevin shutting down trade rumors. Let's talk a little bit about the Drouin thing. I know I didn't really put it in the title or anything, but like, you know, I probably should put it in the title. Maybe Probably. We'll see. We'll see when the video gets uploaded. But Bergevin was also talking about the Drouin trade rumors, which is kind of frustrating because my video from 2 days ago was about those Drouin trade rumors, and you all saw the quote, right? We all saw the quote that Marc Bergevin had about the trade rumors from Jonathan Drouin, talking about how they're just written by journalists in Toronto in their basement, which doesn't really make the most sense because Eric Engels is a primary Montreal Canadiens beat reporter, so yeah. But overall, Bergevin shut down the Drouin trade rumors, but it's kind of funny because the reception that I saw online, on Twitter, on Reddit, well, on our hockey, not on our Habs, certainly a different sphere of Reddit over there, but the biggest thing that I saw was, okay, well, he says he's not going to trade Drouin, he shuts down those rumors. This is the exact same thing that he said about Subban and Pacioretty. So at this point, the whole Bergevin guarantee that they're not going to trade a guy is so shattered, I guess. It doesn't really make the most sense because everything that he says has been rescinded and contradicted within the next year, pretty much. So, yeah, I don't really know specifically if there's a legit desire to keep Drouin, but, you know, we gotta take it at face value, and at face value, Bergevin says they're going to keep him. In the same way that he says they're gonna keep Primeau. Now, Primeau is in a completely different situation. Primeau is not under Habs fan base scrutiny for being inconsistent, nor is he on the subject of defensive issue concerns. Primeau has just been good. He's been really, really good. And throughout college, he was good. Last year, I said he had the potential to be the Carey Price replacement. This year, he was great in the preseason, and he's gonna have a good year in Laval. Primeau can only go up from here, and Drouin is not in that same boat. Which is why Drouin is in this spot where people are kind of talking about him like this. And plus, hey, if you trade Drouin, you get yourself a pretty good return, not gonna lie. Say what you want about Bergevin and his guarantee that he's not going to trade guys, but the guys that he's guaranteed they're not going to trade in the past, but they eventually traded, Pacioretty, Subban, we've gotten some pretty good returns. For Subban, you got the Canadiens' current captain, and for Max Pacioretty, you got yourself Jacob Laguerriere, Matthias Norlinder, Thomas Tatar, and Nick Suzuki. That's awesome. Really, really awesome stuff right there. So, trading Drouin would probably get you a lot. Just saying. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that I want to see Drouin traded. I want to see the guy do well in Montreal. When was the last time we had a legit French Canadian doing their thing over here, right? It's been a while. So, I really like it. I want to see him do well. As for Cayden Primeau, he's going to do well, regardless on if I want to see him doing well or not. He's just that good, and because of that, there's no way we're going to trade Cayden Primeau, unless, of course, it's for a legit #1 center, which was just a joke. But could you imagine if that actually happened? Seriously, you trade Primeau 1-for-1 for a legit #1 center in the NHL. First off, that's not going through, the other team's not going to accept, but if it does go through, you got yourself a center core of a legit #1 center. Let's just use Austin Matthews' name as a placeholder. Matthews. Then you got Domi. Then you got Deneau. And then you got Kotkaniemi. Wow, that's crazy. Best center core in the league right there. Your bottom 6 centers can legitimately be top 6 centers on other teams. That would be nuts. Of course it's not gonna happen. This is just pulling from the hypothetical space right now. But Marc Bergevin, man, you're really laying the price really high on Cayden Primeau, which is fine. I love that. But realistically, if a team is dumb enough to offer their first-line center for a goalie prospect, then I think you should probably be trying to get a few other things from that general manager while you're at it too, right? But either way, Bergevin has shut down 2 series of trade rumors. It's Jonathan Drouin and Cayden Primeau. I'll see if I can brand this video in a way that incorporates both, but I really want to focus on the Primeau aspect of it because nobody really seemed to be aware that he was actually on the block, or excuse me, not on the block, getting called about. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video. It's a bit comedic in a way. Social 9, and bye.